What's up, everybody? If you guys missed the live streams with RJ Bond, he has his own new live stream channel. I'm going to put the link in the description for all those that want to catch up on the Tupac case and check out live streams with RJ Bond. One love, everybody.
What up, y'all? It's King T chilling with Jmix on Tupac Nation. Chilling.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
Yeah, I'm drinking everything.
Step across your situation.
No worries.
What you get? Kind of introduction and all that.
King T, King T, from the Liquid Crew, LIKWITCREW.
Who inspired you musically?
Oh wow, it's so many. Well, out the gate, I was inspired by you know, I'm on the West, so I would have to say the things I was hearing coming out of the East Coast, the you know, the mixtapes that I was hearing of Cold Crush Brothers, the Treacherous Three, things like that. I was very into one of the members from the Treacherous Three. He had a brother named T-La Rock, LA Sunshine brother, and that's where it all started for me, hearing a song called It's Yours, one of Rick Rubin's first productions for Def Jam. And I just latched on to him, you know, kind of stole his name and everything, Tila and all, you know what I'm saying? But he was the one. Then there was LL, of course, Big Daddy Kane. You know, I could go on and on, but a lot of old school East Coast artists. Inspiration from the West would have to be more like Ice-T, you know, who really kind of put me on, and, you know, Ice Cube, you know. He was great inspiration because we were working on our things at the same time, you know, like they were doing, well, Cube was in a few groups, but I always liked his style, you know what I'm saying? But when they did NWA, he was, you know, I was like on his ass, you know what I'm saying? So.
No. At what age did you say to yourself, did you decide, this is what I want to do? I want to go into music. I want to go into production. I want to rap. This is what I want to do.
Well, all I, you know, growing up, all I ever wanted to do was music. That, you know, you could ask my mother, my grandmother, it's all I ever thought about. I even took piano lessons at a young age, 5, 7 years old. That's all I knew. That's all I wanted to do. It became to where I wanted to be a radio disc jockey. That was my thing. Then that grew into, you know, when hip hop came along. Well, really before the term hip hop and all that, you know, the DJs out here on the West Coast, they was the mixing and the scratch, you know what I'm saying? It was real good out here on the West, you know. And that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a DJ. I wanted to DJ parties and things like that. It came to be to where I was DJing and MCing. You know what I'm saying? And the MCing came out to be better than the DJing, because there was a lot of DJs in our crew. We were basically like a throw off from the world renowned Uncle Jam's Army out here on the West Coast, but we were called Total Control, kind of one of their side, you know, crews, promotional crews that DJ parties and things like that. And I was one of the DJs, but it was like DJ Pooh and the crew, and a couple of other DJs and things like that. But they liked me more on the mic. So I just chose to rock the mic, and that's how they gave me the name King T, things like that. So
How that name come about? How did they pick King T?
well, like I said, I took the name. They called me Tila, because I worked for a Fila shop, and they used to call me Tila from the Fila shop, and you know, didn't really have no MC name, but DJ Pooh gave me that name, King T. And, you know, it couldn't be Ice T, it couldn't be, you know, so they just chose King T. Scotty and Pooh chose that, you know.
What would you say was your first break?
My first break was when Roger Clayton, they called him Mr. Prince. He was like one co-founder of Uncle Jam's Army, like I said. He gave us our first break because Uncle Jam's Army was the crew, the promotional crew. They used to bring all the artists into the West Coast. Like, they the first to bring Run DMC, Houdini, LL Cool J at the sports arena when they just throwing dances and things like that. And he gave us an opportunity to open for groups like that, like Whistle, The Real Roxanne, and things like that. That was the first big break.
Now, Act of Food. Were you surprised by the reception of it? And who was the first person who was famous that you admired that acknowledged you first?
Well, we got to understand there was records before Act of Food.
Okay.
Being that, you know, Ice-T became like sort of a mentor and management with Rhyme Syndicate and things like that, we were able to do a couple of singles through this label called Techno Hop with DJ Unknown. My first single was Payback Some Mother. That record, it's a long story. That record got taken to New York and was played by DJ Red Alert. The first time a West Coast artist was played in New York on an independent label, it was Payback Some Other with DJ Red Alert. Then Marley Marl played it on WBLS with Mr. Magic. And it got out there because DJ Pooh and Bobcat at that time, they was representing LA Posse, and they were out there producing LL Cool J's I'm Bad album. So it's a long story behind that. So when the Act of Fool album came, which we recorded like the first 4 or 5 songs in New York at Chung King Studios. So, you know, it was received well, and I guess, really, I got to be honest. I was young at that time, and I was just like, this is what I do, you know. So I was blessed to have the opportunity to be on a major label at that time in '87, '88, but I didn't really take it in like that, you know what I'm saying? I was just doing what I do, you know what I'm saying?
What would you say the first time that someone that maybe you looked up to, someone like an Ice-T for an example, acknowledged you and you noticed it?
It was before Act of Fool. You know, I did so much to try to impress Ice, you know what I'm saying? And he really like took on to me because I was like 15, 16 years old, but I always walking around with a jug of some alcohol or something like that. He took me on tour. He's the one that took me overseas to Europe and all that. And I was a character. I was a young alcoholic, you know what I'm saying, at that time. And it came to the point to where I always wanted to impress him. You know what I'm saying? And it was a good feeling, you know what I'm saying?
What were some of the lessons that he taught you about the music industry?
Oh, wow. That's a different story. You know, it's I guess what they taught me, the whole, when the Rhyme Syndicate management thing situation taught me that you have to pay your dues in this industry. You're gonna go through things, you're gonna lose, you're gonna get robbed, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. And that's part of paying your dues coming into this industry. You know what I'm saying? You have to pay your dues. You have to sacrifice some things, you know, and that's what it is. That's the business.
Will you talk to us a little bit about the Alcoholics? Now you've been called a mentor to them. Do you feel that way?
Nah, mentor. That was, you know, that's like on some Alcoholics Anonymous type shit. But nah, nah. The thing with the Licks was just old friends. J-Ro actually was part of the crew I told you about, Total Control. We were in a crew together. And when I became the King T, when we got the King T thing going on, he was my hype man on the road. So J-Ro has always been by my side. J-Ro is the one that brought E Swift to become my DJ, like on the second album, At Your Own Risk. So Swift became my DJ. Tash was Swift's homeboy from Ohio. They flew him out and they were working on their own little project. I think it was called ESP. And they had a little demo deal with A&M or something like that, Everyday Street Poets. And we just, at this time, everybody was coming out with their own family, their own crews, putting the crew albums together. Like Cube had Lynch Mob, Fat Joe had Terror Squad, shit like that. So me and DJ Pooh just sitting up, we need to get our own little shit. And it became a choice between the Daily Chronics or the Alcoholics. And we just chose the Alcoholics. And I told my niggas, like, yo, scrap that. Let's just put this Alcoholic album together. I had to deal with Capitol at the time, and I was just planning to, you know, put them on with Capitol, the Alcoholics, but they ended up, Loud was so, you know, excited about, you know, the Alcoholics, like they just signed them up with no, you know, it was just friends, just putting shit together and having fun. We came up with the shit I had an apartment in Hollywood and we just put it all together right there.
I gotta ask you, a lot of people, Ice-T recently had confirmed, maybe not so recent, but he confirmed that the Notorious B.I.G. was a fan of yours.
Mm.
Now, did you ever get a chance to meet Big?
Yes, we're good friends. Yeah.
What is people's common misconception when it comes to Christopher Wallace? What do people get wrong about?
I don't, you know, we were friends. You know what I'm saying? I think we doted. I know I doted on him. You know what I'm saying? I love this style. He was just a real big fly motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, the way, and that's what I was on back then. Like just real, the way he spit his rhymes and, you know, the style that he had, it was just real cool. And that was my whole thing about King T. Cool, the coolest and shit like that. I don't know. I mean, they said the same thing about Big Daddy Kane. They said the same, you know, Common said the same thing. I was one of the, I was their fans, you know what I'm saying? I'm more of a Biggie fan than anything. When everything was going on about Biggie and Tupac, I was riding with Biggie, even though Tupac is my man, you know what I'm saying, and all that, but Biggie was my, you know, the way he spit, we kind of sounded alike, you know what I'm saying? That's all it was, I think.
People said that he intentionally.
Nah.
He didn't intentionally try to sound.
No. We actually, everybody, we all were in New York. Tupac, Biggie, me, working with Easy Mo B at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I think everybody it was just a style, a real cool, style that everybody was kicking, and I don't think nobody was taking from each other or anything like that. It was just at that time the shit to do if you were the mother, a tight MC like motherfucker said you was, you was kicking it like that back then. Like I said, everybody is saying that Biggie took things from me, took style from me. Don't believe that shit. You know what I'm saying? Biggie was just a fly motherfucker, and I think I took more from him than whatever.
That's good. I mean,
That's very humble.
Yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we asked the source to clear up all those misconceptions, because there's a lot of stuff on the internet. You said that during that East Coast West Coast thing that was going on, that you sided with Biggie. Did you catch any flack?
No, I didn't side with Biggie.
Riding with
They said, who do you as a rap? Who do you think raps the best? That was it. You know what I'm saying? I thought Biggie. I just dug Biggie style more than Tupac, because Tupac, I wasn't really on the militant type thing. You know what I'm saying? And the positive message type thing. I was more on the kick in the door, waving the fofo, murder a motherfucker, sell some drugs, and fuck a bitch. You know what I'm saying? That type of shit. Of the type of shit I was digging back then.
No doubt. When did you first meet Tupac?
Oh man, it's like, wow. It was like, I think we, came in the industry at the same time, and always passing, everything's cool, everything's love. I think we were fans of each other. Every time we go to New York and things like that, we would hook up, run around New York, hitting clubs, hopping on stage, just rapping, having fun with this rap shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't no East Coast, West Coast thing. Just having fun with it. And that was it. You know what I'm saying? I can't say that I really kicked it with Tupac like that. You know what I'm saying? I just know when we saw each other, it was all love. Especially when we were out on the road, we embraced each other and hit, I rolled with his crew. I didn't really have a crew. Every time I went out of town, my record label was so cheap, they just send a motherfucking DJ with me and the road manager, and it was always fun to see Pac out there,
Awesome spot. I can't be a warm cup. I'm just kidding. All right. Can you talk about collabing with Dre?
Sure.
Is Dre? A lot has been said that Dre is a control freak in the studio. In your experience, is that the case?
Nah, that's the wrong term. Control freak is a wrong term. I think he's a perfectionist. He's like a tweaker, and it ain't shit coming out unless it sounds right to him, and it could be real dope to you, it could be real dope to me, but if it ain't right with him, that shit won't see the light of day.
Do you feel there's a certain genius behind that?
Most definitely, mad genius behind it. You know what I'm saying? And when I think about it these days, like I always say, I wish I would have paid more attention to it and respected it more at that time. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a master at work. You know what I'm saying?
Now, you had signed to Aftermath, right?
Yeah. One of the first to sign to Aftermath.
That's right after the split with Death Row.
Yeah.
What was the deal with your situation and no album, but just singles?
Well, there wasn't really nothing. There wasn't no singles, no nothing. We shot one video. All that was like promo shit. Just promo songs from the album hitting the DJs. Nothing really came out. And that was it, really. and I still, he did that. I think he wanted the record to come out, but I didn't really think, right now I think he wasn't really satisfied with the album. We did a video, Got It Locked, and he didn't get the reception that he wanted from that. So maybe he wanted to go back in and try something else. At that time, and we're talking about, I don't know how many years ago, and but I felt it was my best work. So I wanted it to come out right then, right now. And I jumped the gun, I think, a lot on it, and wanted to just, because I'm listening to other people in my ear on how Dre works, and he shelves shit and things like that. And I jumped the gun and was like, I just asked to leave. And could I, because he always said he'll let me take the masters, all that. And I asked for that, and he let it happen. But it was a fucked up decision I made, because Dre doesn't have to blackball anybody or blacklist anything. People will be scared to work with you because why Dre ain't fucking with you? You know what I'm saying? What happened? So I kind of, yeah.
If you're that good, right?
Yeah, and I kind of put myself in that twist to where, okay, if this shit is that good, and why Dre didn't put it out, and then don't nobody want to cross him and put that out because they ain't knowing, oh, everything is good. Let's go on and put this out. I mean, we ended up signing a deal with Ruthless Records, and Tamika talked to him, and she found, oh, everything is cool. We got permission to do this and all that, but that ended up falling through too. So,
Did you at any point think that maybe that he was going to shelve your album?
Yes.
Like the rumors that that he.
Yeah, that's why I really thought that. I thought that was gonna happen, and I feel to this day I was wrong, because he probably just wanted to go back in and create something better, create a single to really launch the album, and I'm just happy. I was just like excited because I got Dr. Dre on this album, you know what I'm saying, and it's the best shit I ever did in my life, and I was just anxious, and I just fucked it all up.
Well, he's been living with Dr. Dre for a long time. You hadn't been living with Dr. Dre for a long time.
Yeah. We've always been friends, Yeah. We always talked about working together. Even in the NWA days, because we always was on the road. Me and the Doc was like best, we still are best friends, and, we went on the road together. I used to party with them a lot. We tore up hotels together. We, Easy, Ren, Cube, everybody. Still to this day, the best of friends. And it was just a dream to come true when he left Death Row, that one of the first people we called was me to come get down,
That's good. That's quite a vote of confidence.
Yeah.
You know Suge though, right?
Yeah.
Did you know him at that time?
Yeah.
Was there ever any issues there because of Dre leaving?
No, not with me.
Fair enough. How do you feel about Suge in his current situation?
Sad. A lot of people say they don't feel sorry for Suge. I feel sorry for him. I would feel sorry for any brother to be in that position that he's in right now. The whole situation that happened with the brother Terry Carter losing his life and things like that, and it's just a mad situation, a sad situation going on at a time where they're creating something to celebrate, NWA and things like that, and just things could have been done different.
Now, him and Terry were friends, right?
Yeah, I think they came together to that whole situation. They came in the same car. What I've heard, I might be wrong, and things just got out of hand with Bone and all the, you know, just things I've heard. But one thing I will say, you know, things will all come together, man, and hopefully when Suge come home, everybody's able to, you know, put this shit to the side and let's go get this money.
I have a question.
Oh, go for it.
Dialing back a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about Suge not having a problem with you. When Suge ran Death Row, was he? No, I'm sorry, I'm just asking this question because I was silly this way.
No.
When Suge was running Death Row and he had a beef with somebody, was he able to compartmentalize that pretty good, or is like, you know, with my mom when she got mad, she got mad at everybody. Was Suge able to compartmentalize like that? Like if he had a beef with you, nobody else would, you know.
I think. Oh, they're gonna cut it down. I think Suge knew who to fuck with. He knew who we could punk, you know, and you showed that when you met him, how you looked at him. He read people well. I've known Suge since he was a bodyguard for Bobby Brown, and I knew Suge when he was playing football, all that. So we never had that type of situation, even if he probably thought it or whatever. He would never come at me. He would go to somebody else that I know that was probably in my crew or something and vibe with and talk with them, and then that person would come tell me what the problem is or whatever.
But he wouldn't just get mad if somebody pissed him off. He would get mad at you because somebody else pissed him off. Yeah, that's what I heard about him. I think he was able to kind of differentiate.
Yeah.
He'd handle you.
Like
you
know. He knew who to fuck with.
Yeah.
If he saw any type of fear in you, he would fuck with you.
You know, was leverage big with Suge? Would he, you know, I always want to have something on somebody?
Nah.
But that's what they
He didn't give a fuck about that.
Like that. You know what I'm saying? They tried to make it out like he had to have something on you.
Nah.
You know.
Wow.
Sorry, that's it. I'm not asking one question.
No, you're fine.
Thank you.
Other than now, going back to what we were talking about Suge's situation and from there, but everybody's seen the video. It's a two-part question. Do you feel that this is anything other than a tragic accident? And the second part of that question is, do you feel that the police are out to get him?
The answer to the first question, yeah, it was a terrible accident. It's a lot of things going on in the video. You can see Suge and the other homie fighting. You can see, you know, pulling away, trying to get away with not really looking what's in, you know. So yeah, I think it's an accident, a fucked up accident, and you know, he killed a real good dude. You know what I'm saying? And I think, yeah, on the accident. You know, he wouldn't have did that intentionally. You know.
Terry. Not Terry.
Yeah, he wouldn't have did that. You know, so as for the police, I don't know. If you deal with the law like that so much, you know, they develop a perception of you to where, you know, they deal with you the way they deal with you. You know, fuck them.
Fair enough.
Where'd you come from? Did you come from Compton or did you come from Southside?
I was raised in Compton, not born in Compton.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, how old were you when you moved there?
14, 15 years old.
So you came in as a young adult. If you don't mind me asking, where'd you come from before that?
San Fernando Valley, Pacoima, Lakeview Church, LA, over West LA. Lived in Inglewood with my dad and things like that, all over.
Kind of down in that area.
Yeah, but Compton is what took me in and took me in as one of their own and showed me lanes and showed me the streets and raised me, like I said.
Well, as a young adult, 14, you come in, that's impressionable. That's really when you start to see.
Got my first check in Compton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Say, well, check or cash?
That's cash. Well, we call them checks, though.
Right. You know, one thing I've always been curious about with everything that was going on down in Compton, because there was a lot happening. You got corrupt government going around.
Oh yeah, police was something else.
Well, you know, I was going to ask you about that. You know, I was talking with Gomac.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good dude. You know, I like him a lot. He was talking. He said the first time he ever had an experience with the police, they jacked him for something like $13,000 or something like that.
Yeah, see, it's.
PD, I mean, you know, we all know they got closed down because they were corrupt.
Yeah, they became sheriffs.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, but yeah, one of the Compton PD. You know, my stepmother was involved with Compton PD. They used to come to the house, smoke weed, all that stuff. It was nothing, and it was kind of cool, you know. So.
They did that. Did they hassle you guys? Give you guys a hard time at all?
Sometimes, not much.
For the right reasons, or just because they want to shake you down?
Actually, when coming there, and when I first got there, we never got sweated, but they used to come by our house and kick it. You know, like it'd be a gang of cats in front of my house. They'll come by, flash the light, and just talk shit with us, like, what's going on, you know, saying Lil Woody or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it was all laughs. One was trying to fuck my stepmother, you know. They just come by.
Reggie?
Not Reggie, his name was Blue.
Okay.
His name was Blue, yeah.
Well, that's what I heard. I heard Reggie Sr. grew up, I mean, he kind of...
He was one of them.
With the gangs.
Yeah.
He was a hardliner with the gangs.
Yeah.
But,
his daddy.
yeah, Reggie Sr.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Junior's a different story.
I know, yeah. I know that, you know, I kicked it with the mayor. I got pictures with the mayor at that time that he ended up being corrupt and going to prison and all.
That's a story all by itself.
Yeah.
But they,
I used to, me and his niece dated, you know what I'm saying?
call him the gangster mayor. But I also understand that he helped a lot of people get jobs too. I mean, jobs to the community. He really tried to invest in the community.
Most definitely.
Or Paradin.
Most definitely.
Were you around when Paradin took over as mayor?
No.
Okay. You were gone by then?
Yeah. Out in Palmdale or something like that.
From an outsider looking in, I mean, in your experience, was the Compton Police Department corrupt?
Yes.
In your dealings?
Yes, very. We loved it. Never went to jail. I mean, we went to jail a couple of times because some police got shot. And no, somebody was shooting at the police. So they would come through and take everybody to jail and see who they could get to talk. And then they just let everybody go.
Did you know if a raid was going to be done in advance?
No. They would just come through, and it's, you know, that's where this term sweep come from, you know what I'm saying? They come sweep and take everybody. And they would do that just to satisfy the higher ups, like they're, you know what I'm saying?
Was it kind of like a, you know, wink, wink, okay, you know, we were here?
No, they really trying to find out if somebody gonna snitch and tell, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
All right. Oh, we're good. No, we're good.
Okay, I gotta ask you.
So we beat up on Compton cops, and, you know. History stands by itself. So they were corrupt. I mean, how corrupt do you have to be to have a whole police department shut down? You think about that, because, you know,
the mayor and everything.
There's a lot of hoops you got to jump through with the state, I would imagine. I don't know. I never tried to shut down a police department. But you got 150 motherfuckers working there, you know. Somebody's going to complain about that.
Hey, I will say that they were cool with us, but there was other hoods that they wasn't so cool with. Yeah. You know, so some people caught it and complained.
That was that.
I do have to ask you. Coolio talked or tweeted or social media about an alleged. Well, he said that Tupac beat you down. Can you address that and tell us about that statement he made?
Yeah, it was just crazy because I didn't understand what, Coolio has done. Like I said, it was just something I felt that Coolio, he has so much other things to talk about, like the successes he's had musically and all that, The fight was just, the fight was just, really, I'll be honest, it was mostly my fault. Being drunk, we're all out at a club. I think Prince, at this time, Prince, rest in peace, he had owned this club downtown. And we're there hanging out, it's called Glam Slam or something like that. We're at the bar, like I said, every time me and Pac seen each other, we embrace each other and we party with each other. We did it that night, but I was super drunk. Had 2 drinks. I think I had this drink called Adios, motherfucker. I think I had about 2 or 3 of them. And I'm just feeling myself. And at this time, Pac is wearing this, I don't even think it was red. It was burgundy, bandana on his head. And I fucked with him a little bit, like, nigga, what you doing this dead, on some gangbanging shit, this red rag on your head. He brushed it off, all that. I kept fucking with him because I'm drunk or whatever, you know what I'm saying? It was a little scuffle inside the club with us, and they put us out. So we get outside, it's a little tussling going. I know most of this crew, Psych and everybody, so I'm drunk, they see I'm drunk and all that. Pac we never touched each other. Somebody from the Outlaws or somebody hit me from behind, sucker punched me, and I got knocked out.
Now, that was my follow-up question, and I don't mean any offense, but you're a bigger dude, and Pac was a littler guy.
Right.
Is it more of a situation where you guys get into it, and then maybe he has other people handle his business?
At that time, somebody, not to say that Pac directed somebody to deal with me, somebody just took it upon themselves to take their hit, and I fell. You know what I'm saying? And then they were out. I mean, a week later, a couple of weeks later, we met up, everything was love, and then that's when he went away to jail.
Yeah. Did Pac, I've heard various stories about Pac just reading on the media, the web, and stuff like that. Pac had a temper on him.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that?
No.
That Gemini side of him?
Nothing but love. I mean, like I said, all we did was party together, in and out of town, you know what I'm saying? I think from what I can remember, because like I said, I was intoxicated. From what I can remember, I saw confusion in his eyes, like, nigga, why you tripping and all, on that type of shit. And I wouldn't leave it alone. And like I said, both of our entourages, I only had like 2 or 3 people with me, like I said, so everybody is just all around us pushing, shoving and all that till we get outside, and then I'm sucker punched from behind and I'm out.
Well, that would lead to another question I have. When you're dealing with camps of people and you've got people with entourages, if there's a situation, does it usually go like to the 2 people that started it, or does it usually go between, I've got these guys over here, you've got those guys over there? No,
it basically comes down to who was wrong in the situation. You know what I'm saying? What the fuck happened? What was all that about? Because somebody was supposed to do something. You know what I'm saying? So it basically comes down to, let's get to the bottom line. Nigga, what was you tripping on? And all the calls going around, because he had to shoot a video like 2 days later, he canceled the video. So people were calling around. We know the same people. We know the same big cats that's in the gangs and all that. And everybody's trying to, all right, so what's up? Pac and Tila need to see each other and get a fade on or whatever. Nah, Tila tripped out. He was drunk. That's usually what happens and all that. Okay, all right then, fuck it. And we see each other in New York at the first Source Awards, very first one, and we hug, and it's over.
Is that the one where he rushed the Notorious B.I.G?
No, that's the one where Suge got on stage.
Oh, is it you don't want to produce off in the video? And,
Yeah. Well,
But at the end of the day with Pac, it was all love.
yeah, always.
What do you think would I'm going to ask you to speculate. What do you think would prompt Coolio to even make a statement like that?
Well, I think the whole conversation was about Tupac. So he wanted to generate something up to where, yeah, he was there. I can't remember if he was the one, what was he saying, that he was trying to break things up? I can't really remember, you know, but yeah.
Something to talk about.
Yeah, he just wanted to bring up a story that involved Pac that would be substantial for the interview.
Are you cool with him now?
Coolio?
Yeah.
Yeah, I just talked to him a few days ago.
Can you tell people about what you're working on now, the album?
Working on a lot. I'm working on a project called Big King Tookie. You know, I'm producing a lot. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing an album, the Big King Tookie project with Exhibit. We don't know. You know, he's doing a lot right now. So, and I wanted to take my time with it too. So, we're working on that. I've created this radio station called Liquid Radio that we're launching in a matter of days. So it's a 24/7 situation with shows, segments, and a lot of content. And we're starting off with just audio right now, but eventually we'll be streaming video and things like that. We're in talks with Movie Time and things like that. So that's about it right now, because the radio station and the album is taken up every day. You know what I'm saying? And we're working on the Alcoholics. Exhibit is working on a new album. He's working on J.O. Felony album coming out. Working with Corrupt and Chill from Compton's Most Wanted on the Dirty OGs, and everything is coming together, you know.
Let me switch this out real quick.
We'll wrap it up and we'll
Okay.
just get some links, you know, message to your fans and where they can reach you. Hey, I appreciate it. It's been really cool. Very common.
I have another question, Chip. Now, because I'm real curious. I know that you're working with the guys right now actively. So, in that sense, you're still part of the scene today. But speaking from your OG background, what's your take on the music industry today? I mean, you know, it's very interesting.
Music or hip hop?
Well, hip hop in general. We did a bit just today, and it was said that there's something missing for the music, a production value of it, that so many people don't get that extra layer of production that the studios used to be able to provide you. You know, kind of. But that's what he said. But I don't know if you feel the same way or not. But what's your take on what's going on today? If you can remove yourself from that part of it, because present company accepted.
I say it all the time. Like I'm thankful hip hop is still here. No matter, things change. You know what I'm saying? You know, platforms change. You know, I started in a whole different generation where what's going on with these young cats right now, the same thing was being said about us. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna last. That shit is bullshit. That's not real music. This is before the term hip hop. You know what I'm saying? It's not gonna last. It's nothing but noise. So now you got a younger generation coming out doing their thing, creating their own lane. And people are saying the same thing about it. Oh, that's not real hip hop. It's bullshit.
Do you think the sampling? You think the sampling? Now that it's being enforced a lot more strict, than it ever was, back in the day.
Should be.
But do you think that made it more difficult when they really started cracking down on samplings? Do you think that somehow sampling was a kind of a shortcut that somebody has to now be more creative and work around that?
No. That the whole situation with hip hop, that's just a form of hip hop. MCs rapping over old school funk, whatever, rock, whatever. It's the same thing. Why not take it in the studio and recreate it? Bring that old motherfucker back to where he could generate some motherfucking money for himself too, or herself, and bring it all back. That's how we help each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's what hip hop was all about. Is all about. You know what I'm saying?
What was your experience with, people would get a beat, or they would get a demo, or they would get something, that they were interested in, and then what they call it, they flip it, or they rework it, or something like that. Did that happen a lot? Is that still going on, or did that happen a lot that you knew about? That
Yeah.
Was happening? Was that kind of common?
Yeah, especially in hip hop. Yeah, I mean R&B producers is doing it now, bringing back old, flipping it. Just the whole thing with the Marvin Gaye situation with Pharrell and all that. But Pharrell as a producer that produces hip hop and R&B should have went and took care of Marvin Gaye's estate and not even bothered with that. You sat in the studio and listened to that song and went and did your thing, and that makes him creative too, because he flipped it and turned it into something else. But you should have gave his family some money, or at least acknowledged them.
Did that ever happen with demos? Like, can somebody hear a demo, or, Dre's been accused of this on a couple of different
I don't know.
And they'd be like, hey, this is good, but...
That's robbery. You robbing a motherfucker.
Yeah, but
Does it happen?
Does it happen? I mean,
Yes.
That's the question.
A lot.
Really?
Yeah, a lot.
No.
Them people don't last though. The motherfuckers don't last. Some either happens to them, or they get sued, and
Either way,
But it happens a lot.
It's a short career.
Yeah. You ain't supposed to be in this business anyway. Take the demo, go get the group that made the demo, and make them a star.
Yeah. Don't deny him before it's done. Dre got level with that. Suge even got accused of that. I don't know how much of it's true or not, but
I don't know.
But I wasn't in the studio with him, so I can't.
Right, me neither. Yeah.
Well, sorry, I started talking again. Didn't I?
No, it's good. It's good.
I just, where can fans go check out your radio? Where can they go? You said it's long.
Well, we're creating a site right now to be up in a matter of days. Liquid.net, likwit.net. We're gonna have the radio station stream always streaming there. There'll be it's gonna be an app too for your iPhone, your Android, your iPad, Apple TV. You'll be able to access it through Tidal, Spotify, all that. And like I said, in a matter of days, Liquid Radio, look for it. It's coming.
You got a personal webpage or a website?
Well, I got Facebook, facebook.com at KINGTLA, Twitter, twitter.com/KINGTLA, and it's the same with Instagram, KINGTLA, and all across the board. You can find me.
Tell me about one. Tell me a good Tupac story. Just tell me just a good, simple Tupac story.
The only, like I said, the only good thing I could, no, was when he got out of jail.
Everybody's got one. I mean, you got.
When he came home and this is like he signed a death row and all that. My manager at the time, her name was Shari Henry. It's like his sister. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen him since he been home, and I swear when she took me up there, he was working at Can-Am Studio. I think Death Row owned the studio at the time. And we went through the back. We didn't have to go and all that type of shit. But when I walked in there, he was doing the photos for the album cover, All Eyes on Me. He had on that same outfit. Yeah. And when I saw that, it was like, wow, you know, it was glad to see you home. And Devontae was in there from Jodeci producing the song. I can't even remember the song, but he was in there producing a couple of songs for the All Eyes on Me album and things like that. And it was good, man. It was good seeing him.
Ambitions as a writer?
No.
That's a Devontae.
It was another one, and he had it real loud, blasting and going crazy. Devontae was crazy. Yeah.
Is that the point where you thought, okay, this is a different level we're looking at? Because you've been around Pac for years.
Yeah. He was different.
Burst out of that.
He was definitely different. This is when he's Death Row now, and this is a totally different Tupac. You know what I'm saying? This is gangster Tupac now. You know.
Make you sad?
No, I loved it. I loved it. You know, he finally. It was like he finally has a home. I didn't know. I wasn't really thinking of how it was really gonna turn out. You know, but you know, it was all good for him. I was glad Suge got him out. You know, and I was glad to see him home. You know.
In your opinion, was Tupac a gangster?
Yes. Yes, he was.
If you could do one thing different with your career, you look back up, you've been at it for a while. If there was one point where you turned right, where you should have turned left, or you think you should have turned left, what would that have been? I mean, you know, when you think about it, maybe try to apply it for somebody that may be going through something similar.
Nothing.
No regrets.
No regrets.
I love it.
Because I could go do it again right now, just on a different level with a younger artist. And I've made so many fucked up choices and fucked up mistakes. I can make sure that person don't do the same thing I do, and have the success that I should have had back then, but through somebody else. You know?
Does it ever make you mad that your commercial success never hit the level of your success amongst your peer group?
Nah, I'd rather have what I have now than the commercial bullshit. Even though that's the money and all that type of shit, but no, I'd rather have the respect than the bullshit, you know.
This is a Jmix exclusive.
What up, shut up?